Louise spoke about the beautiful church, because it was actually a beautiful, beautiful building with a balcony which was 3/4 around, and in which we always banished the young people way up in the back balcony, because then if they wanted to make a little noise, it didn't bother the rest of us down on the floor. But it also was kind of a long climb to get up there, and the stairways were narrow from the main floor up to the balcony. So when you had a child who was unruly, and I did have one, and this particular time after choir, we used to go up, and the choir people, if we wanted to, could go up in the balcony to join the family. Well, I went up there, and my youngest one was not behaving very well. So I just picked him up and put him on my lap, and I told him he had to behave. But that didn't work. So all right, downstairs, all the way down those stairs, all the way to the main sanctuary, all the way down, because the ladies' room was way down. Took him down there, laid down the law, and said, okay, now we're going back up again. It wasn't half as hard for him as it was for me. Anyway, we got back up again, and I picked him up and I said, now you behave. And I put him on my lap, and he promptly fell asleep, and I thought I'd killed him. But I didn't.
You were talking about Halloween parties. We used to have a Halloween party in church, and down in the cellar, which was full of rats, we used to have a Halloween party. We had a ghost walk down there, and we hooked up a slide that you would slide down from the first floor down to the cellar. Then somebody would grab you and put you on a four-wheel cart, take you around the cellar, bang into walls and everything, you know, and throw all kinds of stuff at you, and then send you up the other stairway, you know. Remember that?
I don't remember that.
Oh, we did a lot of outdoor sports. We were bowling, and we were skiing, and we would go ice skating. Ice skating a lot.
And we had, you know, fun nights, Halloween parties, and sliding parties. And we would go up to Bald Hill and slide. And had a little worship service first, and then that's really what it consisted of. It was
Only a singing.
songs and some scripture, and maybe somebody would come and talk with us. Then, of course, we also had a Young People's Society. That came along. You went into that after you got out of high school. And that went on for quite a few years. And we used to have big banquets and had Young People's at 5 o'clock. And then evening service at 7. And believe me, we were all there. Young people were there. And then the winter weekends came out of that too. The East Coast Conference ran these winter weekends, and we would go up to Sunapee with all the other churches in the conference. And Salem was usually pretty well represented.
We did not go square dancing. We had games. We had relay games, or, you know, they had little tricycles that you would race and ride the tricycles, or whatever it was, but we graduated into square dancing.
Another thing I think about is when I was young, they had junior choir, and I would come down the bus, and I think Julia and Lois were in the choir too, and would sing Edith Wick and Carl Malmstrom, you know, with the leaders at different times. And then when you were 16, you could join the choir, and we all joined at 16.
We had a group called Married Couples, and there were several of us, and I think we probably met about once a month, but we really had a good time. It was mostly a good time.
What I remember about the Married Couples group is we had to have a combined age of the partners equal 55. So when we joined church, we had to wait those extra years to join this fine group of people who we are sitting with right now. And I think it's been a good fellowship we've had all the way down the line with so many people. One of the activities that we participated in was a bowling league. And we went to Shrewsbury Town and Country alleys, lanes, once a week. And I remember being with Bob Beyond, Fred White, Ernie Messier. I think there was was 4 to a team, and then myself. It was a great time just to go over there and be with all the different churches. We took up the whole place there with the lanes. All lanes were occupied.
The bowling team that Dwight was talking about was all men. We finally, before Women's Lib, we finally got a mixed team out in Auburn, and that was a whale of a good time.